This is the Samsung S23 Ultra, possibly their greatest, newest and most powerful flagship they've ever created. Let us tell you why. The unboxing experience of the S23 Ultra, let's take a look at that. So you get this. So basically under here in this little packaging you'll find a cable and some very boring inserts, the normal business. And then if we lift up the lid, you'll notice that is the rest of your box. So not much to be given there. Pop that aside, and then this is the cream S23 Ultra. Ceremonial stuff now. Yep, beautiful. So that's the S23 Ultra unboxed. Let's take a look at a couple of other devices that we've bought that fit into the Samsung ecosystem. So you've got the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro in white. So your ear tips and your cable sit there, as you'd expect. So these are supposed to be a rival for the AirPods 2 Pros and the WH-1000 XM4s. So they are white as well. You're going to notice a theme in a second with the next device, and that is the Watch 5 Pro, also in white or silver, whatever you call it. So you've got the entire Samsung ecosystem. I'm hoping this will work very, very well. So let's get on to our impressions of the S23 Ultra and One UI 5.1. So here is the fully set up S23 Ultra, and first of all, yes, that ultrasonic fingerprint sensor is beautiful. Take a look at it. Pixel, lol. Quick look at the device surrounds. Obviously you've got your 200 megapixel main camera, and all of the camera lenses are as you expect, so periscope, zoom, depth, etc. And then you've got your laser focus, which is at the top there. Sorry, it does not have a depth sensor, my mistake. Now in terms of front, you've got a huge 6.8 inch Quad HD dynamic AMOLED 2X display, yes, the whole shebang, and it is powered by a 12 gigabytes RAM, and most excitingly, a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 full Galaxy processor. Now what does that mean? Look at the snappiness in opening and closing these apps. It is just beautiful and smooth, and you get a lovely animation as well, as you can see. So we haven't fully set this device up for our own personal use. We'll do a full in-depth review at a later date, but as you can see, the UI is stunning. Now going into 5.1, One UI 5.1, you're going to get all your normal setup, etc., as you would normally expect with any Samsung device, except so you can add your different theme icons, which again you have to update. And then if you go into display, we've adjusted some settings. So we have it as WQHD 3088 by 1440. Screen mode, we've gone for natural rather than vivid. Just find it looks nice and smoother, and that will complement very nicely if I pop into YouTube our favorite video in the world to test displays, and it is this, the Costa Rica demo, which is playing in 4K. Let's compare the quality and the sound output. Yeah, it's one of our all-time favorite videos. The cameras on the back, as I said, 200 megapixel. One thing you could expect is that from this particular phone as well is there have been huge improvements. Obviously, we're not the first to review it because we don't have access, unlike some people, and KBHD. But if you watch his review and any of the reviews online, you'll notice one key thing. That 200 megapixel camera on the back there is no gimmick. And let us show you why. So first images we're looking at for camera performance is around the zoom. So it starts at 0.6, so the ultra wide, ramped all the way up to 100x, and the quality is insane even at 100x. So you are going to lose some detail obviously, but it's not going to be as much as when the 100x zoom thing became the thing. Moving on to just ultra wide examples here, just to give you a few more different scenes. Again, performance is excellent.
Then we're looking at expert RAW comparisons. First image is an expert RAW, second one is just your general standard length. You capture a lot more information on your expert RAW than you would on your general focal length. Night mode is super impressive, possibly brightens up the scenario way too much. This was shot about 11, half 11 at night, but I personally think this looks incredible. Then again, your general camera, your standard focal length, just to give you an idea of what you can get in different environments. And it does auto default to macro mode when you get really, really close. Portrait mode is super impressive, maybe slightly aggressive, and then the front-facing cameras are, as you'd expect, great quality. 4K stabilization on. You can see here is me walking down some steps, and although you can feel the fact I'm gradually declining down these steps, generally speaking, on camera, the quality and the fact there's no real judder is insane. I'm actually running at this point as well, and you'll see the incline I've gone down in a second as I turn around and show you. It's pretty good considering that I've walked down all those steps. Now we do have an example of where the 4K stabilization is turned off, and that's here, and this is just a general walk around the waterfront in Wales, and you can see here that there's a considerable more judder, a considerable more movement with that stabilization completely off. 4K 60 on both is available. With the 4K 60 stabilization on, however, there is a small crop, and in low light mode you do get a lot more noise, so factor that in. Finally, a newest edition, 4K 60 FPS on that front facing camera, and it is lovely, super nice and bright. This is a very bright day and I managed to represent it quite well. Moving on from that, we have 8K at 30 frames per second, a grade up from 24 frames per second, and again this is a lot more usable. How much you're going to use 8K 30 frames or 8K in general because of file size, I don't really know, but it's a nice feature to have. And that's the camera breakdown.
So as you can see from my unboxing impressions of the S23 Ultra, you don't get much in the box. However, the look and feel and this more boxy, squared off design they've gone for actually makes it a lot easier to hold in hand. A lot nicer to hold than something like a 14 Pro Max or 13 Pro Maxes, which are a lot squarer, and the rounded curves on the side help a little bit as well. But overall, our impressions of the S23 Ultra are extremely positive. As you can see by a bunch of screenshots and small videos we've taken here from TechDroider, battery life is insane, literally near enough makes no difference at the level of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And that was one of the biggest failings of the Exynos processor in the S22. That's been checked off, amazing. Camera is not a gimmick, it is for real. That 200 megapixel camera is doing bits. The selfie camera is again doing bits. So although the design may not look like it's changed much, there are a lot of things on here that have been dramatically improved. The hero of the whole thing, I guess the halo of the phone, would be that move to go to that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy processor. Now the for Galaxy bit essentially is a slight upgrade in megahertz and gigahertz in the processor itself. You're never going to see the difference, or know the difference, but effectively it allows for better battery management, better power management. This phone does not get hot as much as the other devices do, and again we've run some benchmark tests to show that is indeed the case. So all that's left for me to say now is to pop my SIM inside, to set this up, to customize it with Nova Launcher, because why wouldn't you, and go for an in-depth review in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, as always,